And here we go, friends. A Norm Nathan show from September 29th, 1996 fills the airwaves once more with the title, The Origin of Origins. What are we doing? Why, we're playing the game Origins with the publicity manager for the Great American Puzzle Factory, Lois Berger. Now, the game was already in progress when the tape starts, but we do get the whole second hour. And this would be the only time we would play this, as Norm would leave us a month later. Tom Howie was producing. Norm and Lois are having a great time as the calls come fast and furious. 32 of them to be exact. I will spare you all the names, but will tell you that Norm takes some additional calls after from Martha, Ann, Jack in Michigan, and we close with a rip-roaring call from Billy Clyde in North Carolina. We even get to enjoy some commercial content. TV Guide and the Baby Boombox. Boston Toyota Used Car and Truck Supercenter, the Mutt Strut, the Lighthouse Depot, WBZ AccuWeather promo, and a salute to innovation brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield and Cascade Communications. Please don't forget to support the show through Patreon. The link is below. Episode 157, The Origin of Origins, questions its way to your ears in 3, 2, and 1.
Go through customs and all, but we could mail one to Canada.
Yes, we can, and I hope you get this one.
Okay.
Clouds are rated by meteorologists on their proximity to the surface of the Earth. If someone is a trifle ecstatic, they are said to be in this stratosphere.
At first I thought of walking on air, but then I thought of Cloud 9.
Yes.
Cloud 9 is right. That's great.
We will get a game to you.
Great. Thanks.
Congratulations.
That's right. We'll get it through customs, even if we have to bribe them with stale fruit or something. I don't know. I have no idea why I said that.
I don't know. Maybe I'll bring it to them myself. I kind of wouldn't mind taking it.
No, that's beautiful.
But no stale fruit.
No stale fruit.
No.
You won't get past the customs with that. Okay.
Great.
Here's Tom Howie. Neil, just give me your name and address, and we'll go to John in Dorchester, Massachusetts. Hi, John.
Hi, Norm.
All set to play the big game?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay, this famous bay takes its name from the abundant supply of pearl oysters that inhabit it.
Okay, this obviously is not a cliche.
No, this is a name.
Yeah, name of a place where they have lots of pearl oysters.
Oyster Bay in Long Island.
that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it, too?
We're pretty far away from that, but
Yeah.
good guess.
Okay, thank you very much, John. Bye-bye. He thought logically. You said pearl oysters, so
Right.
Oyster Bay, why not? Okay, Bob in Waltham, you want to take a shot at that?
Hi, Norm.
Hi, I'll turn you over to Lois, and she can repeat that and see if you
Okay.
know the answer to that.
Okay, hello.
Okay. This famous bay takes its name from the abundant supply of pearl oysters that inhabit it.
Is that Chesapeake Bay?
We need somebody calling from another part of the country, Norm. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not Chesapeake Bay, which is where we get a lot of our clams from. Also, no, I'm sorry, it's not that, Bob. But thank you very, very much for trying. Okay. When you hear the answer, it's a little far out though. But I know somebody will know the answer to that. Maybe it'll be Margaret, who's in Dedham. Hi, Margaret.
Hi there, Norm. How are you?
I'm just fine. How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you.
Okay. Do you have the oldest wooden frame house in the entire country in Dedham?
Absolutely, the Fairbanks house.
The Fairbanks house, and that is the oldest existing wooden frame house.
That's right.
I just thought we put a plug in for that. If you want to work that into the next game, Lois.
Okay, I'll think about that.
I think I know the answer to the other one.
Oh, I hope so.
Pearl Harbor?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good, Margaret. That's just fine. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Hey, thank you, Norm. Nice talking with you.
Nice talking with you, too. Okay, 254-1030. The area code is 617. The calls are coming in, I think, faster than Tom Howie can keep up with them. So let's just hit line 1 and see who's there. I can't seem to get this thing. Oh, here we go. Okay, who's on line 4 now? This is who?
Kevin from Linfield.
Oh, Kevin from Linfield. Hi, Kevin. You're on the air with Lois Berger. Oh, yes. Kevin, Lois, are you there?
Yep.
Okay, here's Kevin from Linfield, Massachusetts.
Kevin, this is a custom.
A custom?
Yep, a custom. This custom, which is still practiced at military funerals, began as an attempt to frighten away evil spirits.
And again, this is not a cliche or a saying or anything. It's just it's kind of like a trivia question.
Yeah, it's a custom, something that we do.
At the military funerals to frighten away evil spirits. What is it we do? You know, Kevin?
Wear garlic around their neck?
Oh, that is ridiculous. When you stop that. No. What people go to military funerals? Have you seen generals and officers with garlic around their necks?
Well, I think what it is, I don't think people realize that it began as an attempt to frighten away evil spirits.
Okay, that's right, because it's done automatically. But thank you very much, Kevin. Okay, what light shall I go to now? We got we're coming. I think we're coming up to the time we got to take a break for the news. Is it possible for you to stick around just a little bit longer, Lois?
Well, I'd certainly love to give away some more games.
Okay, that's great. We have news coming up in about a minute.
Associated with that storm system, even a rumble of thunder. Now, some of the rain's going to be heavy, so do be careful if you're out and about. Temperature at daybreak between 61 and 65 degrees. Now, throughout Sunday, well, we'll have a bit of rain to start the day. Clouds then part for some afternoon sunshine. Temperatures could dip briefly into the upper 50s later in the morning, but should recover to an afternoon high between 66 and 70. In the wake of the storm system, we clear out Sunday night. Turns cooler, low 52 degrees. Monday, partly sunny, high 66. Tuesday then follows suit. I'm WBZ Acura with a meteorologist, Jim Coast.
Thank you very much, Jim. That was dramatically well done and so beautiful. It's 67 degrees in Boston.
What year was this?
Origins, which is really fun. She's the publicity manager for the Great American Puzzle Factory, which turns out tons of puzzles and all kinds of stuff. And anyway, here we go. Again, we've had quite a few winners the first hour, and we'll see how we do the second hour. And a lot of the games going from Catch a Falling Star in Winchester on Main Street, the Learning Express stores, one on Center Street in Newton and the other at the Galleria in Cambridge, Massachusetts, plus 1-800-247-3341 for those of you who live outside the area and say, gee, does that mean I can't get that game, that Origins game? Jeez, I'm being discriminated against. Anyway, that's the number to call to find out. Tell us about Origins just quickly, because I know the board game is a little different because we have to adapt these things to radio. So the way we present it on radio is a little bit different than the way you would play it with a group of people. Although, as you mentioned, people can pull out cards and just ask questions too, the way we've been doing it. But it involves what? Not only well-known sayings, but kind of trivia things and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's a combination of names, places, customs, cliches, even some products. And the idea is we have a board here, and there's some pawns, and by answering, obviously correctly, the Origins questions, you can make your way around the board, and the team or the person that makes their way around the board first wins the game. But we do find that a lot of people choose to leave the board behind, and we found them very quite popular at cocktail parties. People are always looking for conversation at cocktail parties during holidays and stuff, and so we found a trend of people are bringing the cards with them as conversation pieces, and generally because everybody uses these expressions and these names in their everyday language, everybody has a common bond, and people are like, oh, I use that expression all the time. I didn't know it came from there. And then a whole conversation would erupt. So we find that the board game is popular, but even more so, people are just taking the cards with them and talking about it.
I think that is very good. And let's see. Let's go to... that was not much of a comeback, was it? I think that's very good. I could have ad-libbed something a little better than that. No, but it is fun. It's a fun game. Jane in Woburn, you're on with Lois, and perhaps you can win one of the Origins games. I hope you do. Are you there, Lois?
Okay.
I mean, Lois is there, but I mean, are you there, Jane? She's not there? Jane?
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, hi, Jane. You're on WBZ.
Yes, I am. I can hardly hear you.
Well, we're going to yell, Jane. We're going to
Okay.
yell until we
Great.
pierce your eardrums.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, this is a place, Jane.
Uh-huh.
This famous place was originally built for President Roosevelt during the Second World War, and it was called Shangri-La. In 1953, President Dwight Eisenhower changed the name to that of his grandson.
Camp David.
Very good.
Camp David is very good, Jane. You have won yourself a game and a chance to talk to the very sensuous Tom Howie, who will take the information from you. Did we get an answer to that last one also? Maybe we can give the answer this time. The custom still practiced at military funerals that began as an attempt to frighten away evil spirits.
No, you're right. I forgot. Nobody got that one.
Okay, why don't we just give the answer and then we'll just continue on with the next one. And the answer is
The firing of guns that is still done today, and most people probably have no idea how that started. But now you know.
That was the idea to frighten away evil spirits. You got the correct answer, Lois. I'm going to send you a game. Okay, let's go to Katie in. Let's see, Katie, you're in Lynn.
Yes, good morning.
I say that like you don't know where you are, but anyway, you're on the air with Lois Berger and all set to play Origins.
Yes, I was hoping to get the one for the 21 gun salute.
Very. You know, everybody gets a different kind of question. There's something for everybody in this game.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think sometimes when you're not at the answering end and you're not on the air trying to answer, that it's a little easier to guess other people's questions
So
sometimes.
much less pressure.
That's right. No, I think that's the whole thing. Yes.
I think you're up for it.
Okay.
Okay. This nickname, acquired by U.S. soldiers during World War I, stems from their eating habits.
Doughboys.
Very good. I didn't even have to finish the question. Excellent.
That's funny. My father was in World War I, and he used to talk about that, the doughboys and some of the food that the soldiers on the field would eat, which became a little bit better later on, but didn't ever sound all that tasty to me during World War I. But anyway, I don't know what I'm rambling on about, but you have won an Origins game, Katie. I'm glad about that.
Thank you very much.
So hold on, and you talk to Tom too, and he'll take the information from you as we go to. Let's go to John in the town of the city, I guess, city of Leominster. Hi, John.
Hello, Norm.
Hey, you're on the air, you lucky fellow, with the exciting Lois Berger.
And
Well,
actually,
thank you.
what's happened? John has left, but I've taken over. This is Eric.
I'm sorry. Okay, this is John your brother?
A friend.
Oh, a friend. Okay, and what does he go to sleep?
No, he's gone to work.
Oh, I see. Okay, what kind of work does he do at this time? Does he do an all-night talk show?
Oh, no, he works at a restaurant, 24-hour deal.
Okay, so we have Eric then from Leominster, and here's Lois Berger.
Okay.
Okay, Eric, if you win this game, you have to give it to your friend.
Except we won't know whether he does or not, so he can be sneaky about it if he
All
wants
right,
to.
this is a word. This word or acronym is based on the initials of the 4 compass points, which are, of course, north, east, west, and south, which designate the origin of information from around the globe.
It designates information from around the globe. I guess I'll go for news.
Excellent.
Oh,
You went for the right one,
You went
Eric.
for the right one.
That's
very
right.
good.
John will be just so darn proud of you, Eric.
So, he basically gave it up to me. He had to go.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Hang in there and talk to Tom, and we'll get the information from you and get you the Origins game as we go to Chris. Where are you, Chris?
I'm in Worcester, Norm. Hello.
Hi, Chris from Worcester. Nice to talk with you. And may I introduce you to Lois Berger of the Origins game and the Great American Puzzle Factory.
Good morning, Lois.
Okay. This one is very timely due to the political
I'm sorry, I'm
nature.
having a little trouble
This is
hearing
a
you.
place.
If you have trouble hearing Lois, I'll repeat the question. But I think maybe you can hear her anyway. We'll try it.
Okay, this American city got its nickname not because of its weather, but because of its long-winded politicians.
Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting because a lot of people when they hear about Chicago being called the Windy City, just assume it's because of the weather.
Right.
And it was not that at all, because there are a number of cities in the United States. I think even Boston is windier than Chicago, although I'm not positive of that, but there are other cities that are.
But, Norm, if you're familiar with the dailies, it has to be in the winter.
Well, no, that's true. I am familiar with the dailies. Well, certainly with the father of the current mayor of Chicago, who he was an old style kind of politician and never shut up.
Success is relative, Norm. The closer the relative, the greater the success.
That's a saying we can that ought to be put in the next Origins game. Okay, Chris, you have won a game, and I'm delighted. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lois.
Thank you.
Okay, hold on and talk to Tom as we go to Mary in Burlington, Massachusetts. I assume it's Massachusetts. Is it, Mary?
Yes, it is, Norm.
Okay, you're on the air with Lois Berger, and all set to see if you can't win an Origins game.
Okay, Mary, this is a custom. 1927, Norma Talmadge walked out of a Chinese theater and into immortality. She accidentally stepped onto a sidewalk which was under repair.
And thus, in other words, thus a custom was born.
Did you want the name of the Brahmin Chinese? I couldn't hear her that well, Norm. Could you repeat it?
Yeah, in this is something that started as a result of this happening. Norman Talmadge, the actress in 1927, walked out of a Chinese theater and into immortality. She had accidentally stepped onto a sidewalk which was under repair. What came out of that, I guess, is what the question would be.
I guess it was Brahmin's Chinese theater that they put their footprint, the star on the...
Yeah, I think she's trying to say the right answer there, Norm.
Okay, because that's where it is, the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
The Hollywood Walk of Fame. And
Yeah.
I didn't know before this game that was strictly by accident.
Isn't that kind of funny? So watch out where you slip, or try to slip more often. Maybe that will introduce a whole new custom. That's kind of funny. I had no idea about that either. But the Hollywood Walk of Fame was instituted there because of the tripping of Norma Talmadge, because she was clumsy and an oaf. We have this whole tradition. Okay, Mary, you've won a game.
Thank you very much, Norm.
Thank you very much. Okay, Jeff is in Alston. Hi, Jeff. You're on WBZ. Hi. And you're on the air with Lois Berger. See if you can't win a game.
Okay, this is a product. Caleb Bradman, a pharmacist, made up a concoction of oil, pepsin, spices, vanilla, and sugar, which he trademarked in 1902. It still sells in its original formula to this day.
I wonder if that would be Coca-Cola.
No, I'm sorry. It's not Coca-Cola.
Boy,
Not
is he going to be
Coca-Cola.
angry with himself when he hears this answer, huh?
I know that because you missed one of the big clues that Lois said that would indicate what that was. But I thank you very much anyway, Jeff.
Okay, Norm.
Thank you for calling.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that's kind of, sometimes you get a little uptight about things and you don't really listen as closely as you really should.
But when he hears this answer, he's not going to be too happy with it.
No, he's going to bang his head against the wall. I just can feel it coming. Betsy in New York State. Hi, Betsy.
Hi, Norm.
Hello,
Is that my
Betsy.
answer?
What's that?
Do I get to answer that last one?
Sure.
That was Pepsi Cola.
Yes.
That's right. That's right, because Lois said it was a concoction of oil, pepsin, which was where the
Right.
Pepsi Cola
was
came.
paying attention.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of interesting. I think it never occurred to most of us where these things come from. That Pepsi was named after one of the ingredients, pepsin. I suppose it could have been called oil cola or vanilla cola or something. You know.
Norm, tell me again what year that was.
1902.
1902. Okay. Was
Okay.
Pepsi first or Coke first?
Boy, I don't. Do you know,
That's
Lois?
a good question. I'm not sure when Coke was in. I don't think that's part of my game, but, I'm going to have to find out.
Yeah, I was just curious, too. Well, all right, I won a game. That's great.
Yes, you did. Here's Tom, and hang in there, Betsy, and we'll go to Diane, who is in New Hampshire. Where in New Hampshire are you, Diane?
I'm in Raymond.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I'm in Raymond, New Hampshire.
Oh, Raymond, New Hampshire. Okay, okay, here's Lois Berger ready to fire questions at you.
Okay, this body of water is so named because it has no living organisms due to its high salt content.
The Dead Sea.
Very good.
Oh, I love the game. It seems wonderful. I'm
Yeah,
thrilled.
I have to tell you, your listeners are very bright.
Well,
Yes,
thank you.
yes, that's what I was telling you before, that we recruit them from all over the country, from some of the major universities, and they're all scholars.
I think your producer goes through a heavy screening process before he puts them on the air.
Actually, he doesn't. These are typical WBZ listeners, and we're very proud. Now we're very proud of them. When we don't screen hardly at all, unless they sound drunk or crazy or something, and so they're really quite bright. We're pleased about that. And Diane is the latest in a whole flow of pretty bright people. So hang in and talk with Tom, Diane, and you have won a game.
Thank you both.
Okay, we have another listener in New Hampshire who's ready to play the game. Her name is Roberta. And where in New Hampshire are you, Roberta?
Hi, Uncle Nomi. Milford, New Hampshire.
Oh, Milford, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
You notice the way we have a kind of a camaraderie here, Lois. Uncle Normie, did you notice that? That's because I'm kind of an uncle figure because I'm an old fat person. I wish somebody would deny that or say something. Don't just sit there quietly.
I'm sure that's not true, Norm.
That's not true, Norm.
Thank you very much, both of you. Anyway, here's Lois Berger, and let's see if you can't win an Origins.
Okay, this next one is interesting, although a little bit on the gruesome side.
Ugh.
Oh, well. Shipwrecks and drownings are obvious hazards of the job for any sailor employed by the Navy. Long before dental records were used, this means of identifying a drowned body was all but impossible. In the 16th century, Navy sailors began wearing these as means of identification.
What do you think? Obviously, I'm giving you have 25 seconds to answer. There's probably not another quiz program in America that limits it to 25. Usually it's 15 or 30. Trying to be different. What do you think, Roberta? You have about 10 more seconds anyway.
Not even a clue tonight, Norm.
Not a clue at all.
Not a clue.
Nothing you can blurt out just quickly.
No,
Oh.
I'm running aground on that one.
You're keeping within the spirit of the question, and we certainly appreciate that. Okay, hang in there, and then we'll have the answer, I'm sure, in the next few minutes. Thank you.
Thanks, Norm. Good night.
Good night, Roberta. And
We're going to have to get a caller that was in the Navy, Norm.
That's right, too. I didn't understand why the answer to this was something. Well, I won't say any more than that because I don't want to give it away. Ellis is calling from Pennsylvania. Where in Pennsylvania, Ellis?
Near Philadelphia.
Okay, nice. Right near KYW, our
your
station.
sister station, sure.
Yeah, I'm always surprised when people near Philadelphia or near Pittsburgh can hear us because our stations in both of those cities are very close to where we are on the dial, and they usually block us out. But
I think many years ago, WBZ used to be, I forget what kind of station they called that, but it was meant to be heard in other cities, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah. No, that's quite true. That's why we're in a lot of cities, but
the network days. The network days of radio.
Yeah, that's right. The 30s and 40s, primarily what we call the golden era of television, of radio, rather. I'm sorry. I keep thinking maybe we haven't got to the golden era of television yet. Maybe we will one day. Anyway, I'm just rambling on, and when you want to talk to Lois Berger and see if you can't win an Origins game, Alice.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to shorten this one a little bit. In the 16th century, Navy sailors began wearing these as means of identification.
Yeah,
and don't say
really stumped. Really stumped.
No, don't say. I thought you were going to say garlic. I thought we were going to get back to that again.
No, that's not back to that.
Okay, I think you'll be surprised when you hear the answer. Maybe you won't be surprised. Maybe you'll kick yourself. But anyway, thank you very much, Ellis. I'm sorry you didn't win, but I appreciate your listening.
That's quite all right. Thank you very much.
Okay, take care. Let's go to Dodie. Dodie in West Roxbury. Hi, Dodie. You're on WBZ.
Hi, Norm.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and here's Lois. I hope you can hear Lois Berger, too.
Hi, Lois. I hope you get this one.
I think it's tattoos.
Very good.
Okay, that's fine, Dodie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your game.
Okay, yes, I'm sure you will. Dodie has won a game, and we'll go to Bill in Littleton, Massachusetts. Hi, Bill.
Hi, Norm.
Okay, I guess we got a whole new question for you that Lois Berger has.
We do. Okay, Bill, this is a place
Okay.
experiencing many fatalities while crossing it. This valley was named by gold seekers during the 1849 gold rush.
Death Valley.
Death Valley.
Excellent.
That's right on the button there, big guy.
All right.
And so you have won yourself an Origins game.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. Okay, let's just, again, we'll take a break and then we'll be right back. Lois Berger with Origins. And I won't keep you too much longer, Lois, although I love having you on. You have, I think this is fascinating, and you can tell by the number of people who are calling how much they enjoy that.
Okay.
Can you stick with us, say, for another half hour, just till 1 o'clock?
As long as you'd like to go.
Okay, we'll go for another half hour till 1, and that will be nice. But meantime, we'll take a break and be right back with all of this.
Here is an exclusive offer from TV Guide, introducing the all-new AM/FM Baby Boombox. Use it in the kitchen or use it in the office, indoors or out. It's lightweight and weighs less than a pound. And best of all, TV Guide's Baby Boombox is free with your paid subscription to TV Guide. Every week, TV Guide brings you exciting interviews, in-depth previews, and special features. It tells you what's in, what's out, what's good, what's bad, what's hot, and what's not. Call this number now and get 52 issues of TV Guide for only 4 low payments of just $11.99 each. Plus, your TV Guide Baby Boombox. The number is 1-800-592-0770. That's 1-800-592-0770. This quality AM/FM radio isn't available in stores, but it's yours free with TV Guide. So order today. To order, call 1-800-592-0770. Have your credit card ready and get your free Baby Boombox with your paid subscription to TV Guide. That's 1-800-592-0770. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Introducing Boston Toyota's used car and truck super center. And we don't call it super for nothing. Boston Toyota has assembled the largest selection of super clean late model quality inspected pre-owned cars, trucks, and vans. Most of them are so new they still have the remaining factory warranty. And because they're from Boston Toyota, you know the prices can't be beat. If you're in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, now you've got a place to buy with confidence. Boston Toyota's used car and truck super center. And if you're in the market for a new Toyota, Boston Toyota is Boston's #1 volume exclusive Toyota dealer. We've got hard-to-find RAV4s, Toyota 4Runner, Corollas, Camrys, including the newly designed 97 Camry. And you know our deal. Bring us any ad from any other dealer and we'll beat it on the... If you already have a deal with another dealer, bring us that and we'll beat it. Boston Toyota is here to save you money 7 days a week. Commonwealth Avenue next to Herb Chambers Honda. Nobody sells Toyotas for less than Boston Toyota.
Join us for the Mutt Strut to benefit Youth Spark. Sunday, October 6th at 11 a.m. at Artisani Park on Soldiers Field Road in Brighton. Take your dog for a walk or run. Win prizes and spend time with friends while supporting Youth Spark. To register, call 617-561-1120. Lighthouses, lighthouses, lighthouses. Lighthouses are to America what castles are to Europe. If it's lighthouses you like, visit the Lighthouse Depot, the world's largest lighthouse gift store. At Lighthouse Depot, with its 2 complete floors of unique lighthouse gifts, you will find just about any lighthouse item you could possibly want. From limited edition collectibles such as Harbor Lights and Spencer Collins, the Lighthouse Depot carries an extensive line of clothing, flags, and lighthouses for your lawn, and the largest selection of lighthouse books in the world. If it's got a lighthouse, Lighthouse Depot has it. They even have dog biscuit shaped like lighthouses. As featured in Yankee Magazine, this is a one-of-a-kind destination you must see. Less than an hour and a half north of Boston, Lighthouse Depot is located on historic U.S. Route 1, minutes off the Wells Exit 2 from the main turnpike. Can't make it to the store? Then call 1-800-758-1444 for their full-color mail-order catalog. Call Lighthouse Depot at 1-800-758-1444.
You're never more than 10 minutes away from the next WBZ AccuWeather forecast. AccuWeather, every 10 minutes, every hour, only on BZ.
Speaking of that, let me check the extended AccuWeather forecast. Overnight cloudy and windy, periods of rain, including a rumble of thunder later on. Temperatures at daybreak will be about 65. Right now it's 67 degrees here in Boston. Sunday, during the day, Sunday, cloudy and breezy with a bit of rain early. Then clouds will part for some afternoon rain, afternoon sun. Temperatures may dip briefly into the upper 50s late in the morning before recovering to an afternoon high between 66 and 70. Sunday night, clearing and cooler, lows 52. Monday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 66, and quite a nice day on Tuesday, partly sunny, and temperatures about 66 degrees. Again, it's 67 right now.
Innovation, the spirit of New England. Ever since the first voice was heard transmitted over a wire, one good New England idea has followed another. But innovation is more than part of history. It's what keeps New England ahead of the competition, creating new industries and new jobs. And that means a brighter future for everyone. This salute to innovation is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield and Cascade Communications.
Okay, we're talking with Lois Berger, who's the publicity manager for the Great American Puzzle Factory, and we're playing one of the games put out by that company called Origins. It must be kind of fun to be working for a game company and puzzle factory.
It is. And what happens is we develop our games both in-house, and we also do get submitted games from inventors around the country and actually around the world. So oftentimes my boss will call me in and she said, Lois, put down what you're doing. We have to come play a game. And I'm like, oh, really? And we spend a lot of our day, trying out games that people send to us. So, yeah, I can't say it's a bad job.
Okay, so in other words, if anybody who's listening right now has an idea for a game, they could call you?
They could send it to Great American Puzzle Factory.
Okay, and you guys are in Norwalk, as you mentioned, Norwalk, South Norwalk, Connecticut.
I would recommend before they just sent it in that they gave us a call. That would be helpful.
Okay.
We do get thousands of submissions every year.
Do you really? People, I didn't realize that many people were sitting around trying to dream up ideas for games.
Yeah, they do. And I'll tell you where most of our game submissions come from, quite interestingly, and also because you have a lot of listeners there. Canada is a country of strong game inventors.
Really?
And I'm not sure quite why. Maybe it's the cold weathers or long winters or whatever it is that makes people get indoors, but we get a lot of game submissions from Canada.
Okay, now is that a separate number to call you at?
Yeah. The number that you gave before, that 800-247-3341, that is for Bavarian Gaming Society, and they are a catalog company that sells our game called Origins.
Okay, so the game, if somebody has an idea for a game, is it at that 203 number?
They would be calling at 203-838-4240.
Okay, say that just one more time.
That's 203-838-4240, and that is our office number. So that would be during business hours.
Okay, I would suspect that out of all the games that are submitted to you for new ideas for games, obviously you would select probably very, very few.
Very few. I mean, out of the thousands a year, only, one or two are chosen. And they come from either game inventors or game companies, or sometimes they're made up in our company. So it's a small chance, but, you never know.
Yeah. Okay, let's go
to where the next great idea is going to come from.
Okay. Joanne and Lynn. Joanne, you're on WBZ. Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Okay, all set to play the game?
Yep.
Okay, I'll turn you over to Lois.
This invention was not named after its inventor, rather after a roaring 20s hairstyle that required it.
Can you say that again? I didn't hear it all. Wasn't a good connection.
Okay, Norm, you want to repeat that for me?
Okay. This invention was named after was not named after its inventor. It was not named after its inventor, but it was named after a roaring 20s hairstyle that required it. What kind of a thing are we talking about?
Hairspray? No.
No, this is it's a common thing. I don't know quite how to phrase it without telling you what it was, but common thing that came after a hairstyle that was very common in the 20s, back in the 20s, the roaring 20s, where they used to say things like, "Hello, old sport. My, aren't we the bee's knees? Hey, 23 skidoo."
I can't say ChairNet?
No, it was not hearing that.
Oh, I figured I got a hard one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joanne. We're not persecuting you, I promise. But anyway, this is kind of a tough one, but thank you very much for trying.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye now. Okay, how about Charlotte? Where are you calling from, Charlotte?
Hi, I'm calling from Randolph.
Okay, here you're on the air with Lois.
Okay. Charlotte, this invention was not named after its inventor, but rather after a roaring 20s hairstyle that required it.
Did you hang up, Charlotte?
I guess you didn't like that question,
it's kind of fun. I don't know why people do that, because that's really rude. And Charlotte, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. But people do that. They don't know the answer. They just automatically hang up. They don't say anything.
I get a little nervous.
Well, maybe that's it, but I think that's really dumb, and she ought to be ashamed for doing that. Julie, in where? Where are you, Julie?
In Wilmington.
Wilmington, Massachusetts. Okay, you're on with Lois Berger.
Yes.
Okay, this invention was not named after its inventor, but rather after a roaring 20s hairstyle that required it.
Would it be Marcel wave?
Oh.
A curling iron?
No.
Oh.
No, this. I guess I say it's kind of tough because I'm a male, and it wouldn't be the kind of thing that I would. Well, I especially would know much about. But anyway, thanks for trying, Julie.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. I'm sorry that you didn't get that. This is kind of tough. That's true. Jim, what do you think? Are you on the air, Jim? Are you with us?
Yes, hello.
Okay. It'd be kind of funny if none of the women could get it, but a man would. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I can. I don't think the chemise was a hairdo.
The chemise? No, but it sounds exciting.
I know it.
I'm starting to sweat just thinking of it.
Okay, Norm, thank you.
Okay, thank you for trying, Jim. I guess he didn't even want you to repeat the question. He gave up right at the very beginning of all that.
Okay, it's up to you if you want to give this answer.
Yeah, why don't we give the answer? Because I think this is kind of tough. And let me give the question, and then you give the answer. Okay, would that be okay? So this way we can be partners in this.
Sure, partners in crime.
Okay. The invention that was named after its inventor was not. I keep saying that. The invention was not named after its inventor. It was named after a hairstyle that was prominent in the Roaring 20s, a hairstyle that required what?
A bobby pin.
Bobby pin.
And I'm sure there's listeners out there that are nodding their heads, saying, I knew that.
Or either that or is that where bobby pin came from?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe more of that. Let's see. Have we gone to you, Deborah? No. Are you there, Deborah?
Yes, hi.
Okay, we have a whole new question for you. Did you know the answer to that one?
Yes, bobby pin.
Oh, you did know that. Oh, we were one short of... I thought I was ready to give up. I didn't think anybody would know that, and we should have held on for you. But
I apologize.
Okay, here's Lois Berger, and we shall have a new question for you.
Okay.
Okay. Saxons celebrated spring by worshiping the goddess of fertility. The goddess was represented by an animal symbol, which has been adopted into usage for a modern-day celebration.
See, there's an easy one for you. That's easier than the other one. See, I know you'll get this one.
Could do it just one more time?
Okay. Saxons celebrated spring by worshiping the goddess of fertility. The goddess was represented by an animal symbol, which has been adopted into usage for a modern-day celebration. I tried to highlight the important words.
Day celebration.
In the spring.
Bunny or Easter bunny, rabbit.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly how you wanted it worded.
It's the Easter bunny.
Okay.
I didn't realize that the Saxon goddess was named
So
Easter.
that's how the Easter bunny lays chicken eggs.
Laid chicken eggs. Will you stop? Eastre was the goddess, and that's where Easter got its name. I didn't know that.
Who knew that, huh?
I did not know that. But the Easter Bunny is the correct answer, Deborah, and you have won an Origins game, you devil.
Oh.
No, devil. I shouldn't say devil in this context. Anyway, hold on and talk to Tom Howie, and we'll get the game out to you as we go to Kelly. Where are you, Kelly?
In Weymouth.
I'm sorry. Could you speak just a little bit?
In Weymouth.
Yeah. Well, you're very low level. Have you got the phone right up to your mouth and you're speaking up really loud?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Okay, I turn you over to Lois, and if there's any problem, I'm right here, maybe to interpret for one or the other of you.
Okay, this is an invention of a product, an item. This invention was the first man-made device that was capable of breaking the sound barrier by creating a sonic boom.
Oh, this is an interesting question and kind of a tough one.
Yeah, I think it's kind of tough, too.
Yeah.
Can you repeat it? You want to repeat that for me, Norm, in case you didn't get it?
Okay, this invention was the first man-made device, a man-made device, capable, I should say a person-made device, I guess these days, was capable of breaking the sound barrier and creating a sonic boom. And this goes back way beyond before spaceships and all of that did that, or fast planes and all that kind of stuff. So it's not anything that flies, or I'm trying to give you all kinds of clues here. It's not anything that goes up in the air and flies and breaks the sound boom that way, but it breaks the sound barrier and creates a sonic boom right here on Earth.
A can?
What's that?
A can?
A can? You mean just a plain metal can?
A cannon?
A cannon. I see.
But that's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah, maybe that does it, but that's not the answer, Kelly.
Okay.
Thank you. That's kind of tough. Let's see if Heather, who's in Wilmington, knows the answer to that. Hi, Heather. You're on with Lois Berger.
Oh, hello, Norm.
Hi.
Hi, Heather. Hi. Okay, listen. This invention was the first man-made device that was capable of breaking the sound barrier and creating a sonic boom.
Can you think of anything that goes that fast, that's on Earth, that you could control yourself, as a matter of fact, if you know how to use it?
Or animals. I just gave a hint. I hope you forgive me.
Or animals?
Right?
I don't know.
Oh, you mean this could control animals too, and was used with on animals?
Correct.
Is that what you're saying, Lois?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, sorry.
But even you don't even need animals. You could just sort of kind of work this thing yourself, and it would do all that.
A bullet?
Yeah, I guess a bullet probably would, but that's
Not what we had in mind.
this is kind of tough, Heather. Thank you very much for trying.
Thank you. Bye.
What do you think? Should we give the answer
I
to this?
think we should give that one and move on to the next one, which I think is much more fun.
Okay, and let me do the question, and then you give the answer. Okay. This way we're partners and like we're in it together, you and I. The invention was the first man-made device capable of breaking the sound barrier. Remember, this is the first man-made device, so this would have come before bullets and cannons and all that, too, because they could have done this. Well, I'm talking too much.
Right.
Anyway,
the answer is a whip.
Yeah, a whip, the snap of a whip and stuff.
Yeah.
That actually, I didn't realize that was, that actually broke the sound barrier. That was a sonic boom, the sound of the whip.
Yeah, that was a tough question.
That was a kind of tough. We apologize to all those of you who tried it and didn't make it. I don't blame you. I don't think many people would have. We'll go up to Ithaca, New York, the home of Cornell University. And Andrew, hi, you're on with Lois Berger.
Hi, Norm. How are you?
Good, thanks. How you doing, Andrew?
Fine, thank you. Nice to talk with you. I'm ready. I knew the answer to the whip.
Wow.
It's always the person after we give the answer.
I knew Bobby Pin,
it's
too.
a pressure kind of thing.
Oh, you knew Bobby Pin also?
Yeah.
I hope you know this one. You're entitled to know the answer to this one, too.
Yeah,
I'll give it a shot.
Fun. This event, Andrew, was originally a floral parade until the judges found the marching women more beautiful than the flowers.
Oh, God. A floral parade wouldn't be like the Miss America or something.
Excellent.
Really? Son of a gun.
Yeah, there's the Miss America pageant.
It started as a floral parade.
It started as a floral parade, but the women who were carrying the flowers apparently were getting more attention than the flowers were.
Was it originally in Atlantic City?
I don't know that.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
I want you to do a paper on that, Andrew.
Yes, I will. Norm, it's real good to talk to you. I listen to you most nights that I can.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm booming right into here, upstate New York pretty well here.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate hearing from you, Andrew. Hold on and talk to Tom Howie, and we'll get the Origins game out to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. We'll go to Jill, who is in Newton, Massachusetts. Hi, Jill.
Oh.
Are you there, Jill? Jill?
Hi.
Hi. Know what to do, Jill. Turn down your radio, because we're on a 10-second delay, and what you're hearing...
Norm?
Yes.
My name is Estelle from Newton.
Oh, I'm sorry. No wonder you didn't respond. I'm calling you by your wrong name. I'm sorry. Estelle from Newton. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. You can call me Sam, just to get even. Anyway, you're on the air with... I'm sorry, Estelle. You're on the air with Lois Berger.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Estelle, this is a custom. It was once considered good manners for a host to offer to pour some of your wine into his own glass to prove that it wasn't poisoned. If you thought highly of your host, you would signal your trust with this gesture before tipping your glass back.
Oh.
What an interesting society we lived in at that point, isn't it?
A little scary, huh?
It is kind of scary where you had to... I'm stalling for you, Estelle, because I want to make up for calling you by the wrong name.
Did you say a gesture?
A gesture, and it started with wine in your glass.
Yeah,
Would it be like a wave of your hand or something?
No, this is something that people still do quite a lot, unless you're in the society there that waves their hands at each other a lot. But I didn't realize that at one time when a host poured some wine, he poured it into some of your wine into his glass, and then so you would know it wasn't poisoned. I don't know why you would suspect it would be. First time, what would you do with yours at that point?
Well, you'd either offer him your glass, or you might sniff it.
No, this is something we do to this day.
We still do. When you have a glass of wine, you're sitting around the table. Before you drink, what do you do?
Oh, you make a toast.
I'm going to give you about 5 more seconds. Try one more shot, if you would, Estelle.
You take a sip?
Okay, no, I'm sorry. It isn't that.
I tried hard for you.
Oh, I knew all the other answers, not this.
I know that. It always happens that way, doesn't it?
Okay, thanks anyway.
Thank you, Estelle. Let's see if Scott knows. Scott is in Watertown, Massachusetts. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Norm.
Here's Lois. Would you like her to repeat the question?
Yes, please.
Okay, Scott. It was once considered good manners for a host to offer to pour some of your wine into his own glass to prove that it wasn't poisoned. If you thought highly of your host, you would signal your trust with this gesture before tipping back. And this is still done today. Not for those reasons, though.
Okay, give you about 20 more seconds.
You could raise your finger.
Especially don't do the middle one.
I don't know.
Give you about 5 seconds. You want to just hit in another answer widely, just whatever comes to your
You
mind.
can pretend to be drinking a glass yourself.
No, no, that isn't quite it. Thank you very much, anyway, for trying, Scott. The answer is well, it'll be obvious. It isn't obviously right now, but it'll be obvious to people when they hear it. Is your name Belva?
Yes.
Belva, and you're in Ohio also. What part of Ohio are you at?
Newcomer's Town.
Where's that?
It's about 80 miles east of Columbus.
Okay, and you call it Newcomer's Town?
Yes.
Like named after people who are new in town? Mm-hmm. That sounds very friendly. How did that come about? Do you know?
It's an Indian. There was a story about an Indian who took a new wife, and she was called the Newcomer.
Oh, I think that's so friendly. It's like naming a town Welcome Wagon, Ohio, or something like that. Yeah. Oh, maybe it isn't exactly the same. Anyway, let me turn you over to Lois Berger and see if you can't win an Origins game.
Okay. I'm going to kind of rephrase this because maybe we're confusing our listeners, Norm.
Okay.
All right. This custom, which we still do today when we drink wine, originated when you showed your host that you trusted that he wasn't trying to poison you with the wine. It was something that you do with your glass. Clinking glasses that touch your glass to theirs. Yeah. Did she get that right?
That's absolutely right. She said clinking glasses.
Clinking glasses.
Yes, yeah. As together as a toast. And somebody had said making a toast, so that was sort of partly there, but the clinking glass thing was really the key thing.
Right, and who would think that's such a friendly gesture, or what we think is a friendly gesture today, started out as kind of a morbid kind of thing?
No, that's right. That's right. I think that's what's kind of interesting about the Origins game is that you find out about things that you wonder about. Where did this start? Why do we do this? That kind of thing. So it's kind of fun. And you've won an Origins game as a result of that, Belva. Thank you. And we'll go to Stella in Brighton. Hi, Stella.
Hi.
And we have a new question for you, at least at Lois Berger.
I just have the last answer.
You got it?
You knew about the clinking glasses.
I did. That's quite all right.
Okay, this is something completely different. When first introduced during the Second World War, they were known as general purpose vehicles. For practicality, it soon became to be known by this name.
A Jeep?
Very good.
Excellent.
Jeeps are very popular today, that's for sure.
Very good.
They sure are. And all four-wheel drive vehicles in general have become more and more popular as a result. So you have won, and hang in there, Stella.
Sure, well, thanks.
Okay, thank you for calling. Let's go to Joe in Hanover, Massachusetts. Hi, Joe. How you doing?
Good, Mom. How you doing?
Good. Can you speak up just a little bit, if you would, please?
Is that any better?
A little bit better.
Well, I'm talking just about as loud as I can.
Okay. And you got the phone right halfway down your throat?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can't ask any more from you than that.
No, okay,
halfway.
Okay, here's Lois.
Okay, this is a cliche. During the 1930s, this term was coined for use in an advertising campaign. The premise behind the term was that the regular use of their product each morning would prevent this from happening in the late afternoon?
Norm, could you repeat that? I can't hear her.
Yes, I will. I'll repeat it exactly the way Lois said it. This is a cliche that came out of this, an expression really, and a slogan. During the 1930s, this term was coined for use in an advertising campaign. The premise behind the term was that the regular use of their product each morning would prevent this from happening in the late afternoon.
Okay, I believe it's an apple a day would keep the doctor away.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I suppose that could be in a sense, because that's what the people who sold apples, I guess, would like you to believe that happened. But this is something a little bit different. Let's see if Linda knows. Linda, who's in the town of Bedford, Massachusetts. You're on with Lois Berger. Linda, hi.
Hi. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Okay, this is a cliche or expression. During the 1930s, this term was coined for use in an advertising campaign. The premise behind this term was that regular use of this product each morning, men, would prevent this from happening in the late afternoon.
5 o'clock shadow?
Very good.
Yeah, how did you come up with that one? That's great, Linda.
I was thinking of a razor. I don't know.
No, you were exactly right. And that's really kind of coming in from left field.
Woman, huh?
Yeah, it's coming in from a right field on that one. Okay, thank you, Linda. You have won a game yourself, and we'll get that to just. I think we get maybe one more contestant.
Thank you.
Okay, but hold on and talk to Tom, and we'll get that out to you. Meantime, we'll take one more contestant. Who shall I take this time, Tom? What line shall I go to, and who's that? Okay, well, let's find out who's on, let's see, on line 4 here. Hello, who's this? You're on WBZ, whoever you are.
Hi.
Hi, what's your name?
This is Matt.
Okay, Matt, and where are you calling from?
Weymouth.
Weymouth, okay. Yes. Okay, we're going to have to close after this, but you're on the air with Lois Berger, and see if you can come up with the answer to this one.
Okay, I'm going to make this one an easy one.
Good.
This famous American symbol of independence was actually manufactured in England at a cost of $300.
The Liberty Bell?
Yeah, I didn't even have to finish the question.
Very good. Very good. Okay, you have one also. Hold on, and we'll turn you over to Tom Howie. He'll give you take all the information anyway. I have no idea how many games we have given away, but I guess quite a few.
Yeah, I think our sponsors, Catch a Falling Star and Learning Express of Newton and Cambridge, will be delighted and surprised to hear of how many games we've given away.
Oh, I hope they will. I hope they won't say, "Hey, what are you doing? Trying to break us or what? What are you doing?"
But if you heard the game and you enjoyed playing it or listening to it on the air, you could certainly stop by any of those stores.
Yeah, Catch a Falling Star is on Main Street, Winchester, and the Learning Expresses, or Learnings Express, right. Anyway, there are two of them, that one in Center Street in Newton, and the other in the Cambridge Side Galleria, obviously in Cambridge, right near Leechmere Station, right in that area. So they're all pretty conveniently located around Boston, and those of you who live outside the area who can't get to those places, it's 1-800-247-3341. You can find out the stores near you that carries that.
Actually, that number, sorry, Norm, that number is to order the game.
Okay.
That's the catalog.
Oh, okay. 1-800.
I cannot give the stores near you, but you can go ahead and order that by asking for Origins.
Okay, that's even better then. 1-800-247-3341. Hey, thank you very much. This is the first time we played this game, and it's been a lot of fun and giving away a lot of games, and I appreciate that, Lois Berger.
Well, thanks for having me, and I'd love to come back and play another game.
Okay, we'll do that. Son of a gun, we'll do that.
Son of a gun, that is an expression from Origins. Yeah. I'm going to make you look that one up, Norm.
Oh, is that an Origins, son of a gun? Where did that come from? Do you know offhand?
Not offhand, but it is a long and kind of illicit stories, shall we
Okay,
say.
I'll look it up, and
Yeah.
or I'll call you back, and we'll take care of that. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Part.
It's the northern, what do they call it, the northern peninsula? The upper peninsula?
The Upper Peninsula.
Yeah, there's a 5-mile bridge.
Yes, through St. Marie, but you usually go over by ferry.
Okay, by
Well,
ferry.
like you can
Okay,
swim.
to Mackinac Island, where they specialize in fudge. I get, or at least that's one of the products that people like there. And I also have a big old hotel called the Grand Hotel, which has showed up in movies a lot.
That's right.
And no cars are allowed.
Absolutely
Obviously,
not.
on Mackinac. Even people, are there people who live there year-round?
I'm not sure. I would imagine so. Yes, because the island is open all winter. I just found this out from my husband's cousin, that in the winter time, when the ferry isn't running, they have what they call, I think it's called a tree bridge, where they take the trees and put them on either side. Now, I've never seen this. And you can snowmobile across on the ice in between the the lining of, they make like a road lined with trees on either side, just lying down.
Okay, so are there schools, for example?
No, I was up there once. My husband's family has this place, and in the old days, I guess some of the very wealthy people used to take their horses up there, and the servants would go up first and open up the houses, and then the family would go up for the whole summer.
Do you have any idea? Because I have a feeling we do have listeners in Michigan, and some who may be very familiar with that, with Mackinac Island, and might give us a call about this. But do you have any idea how long they are? What the acreage is, or something? Is it a very big island?
No, but I know that. And see, now you gave me questions. There's I don't know the answers.
No, but because I've talked about this with people who live up in that area, and I never thought to ask them this before, because if there are some people who live there year round, that's the only way they can get around is horses and mostly bicycles, I suppose. Mopeds? Can you use a moped?
That'd be a good thing to ask them also, since nothing motorized is allowed up there. Can they get snowmobiles? I just took it for granted that's the way they came across the ice.
Yeah, and I wondered just how big Mackinac Island was, and if you did live there year-round, if there were people who did live there year-round.
You need schools.
You'd need schools, and you'd also have to, since you don't have cars, then the only way you could get around was by bike or horse,
right,
or something like that.
And even people who built their homes, everything was brought over on boats, and you could not bring anything, bring your trucks over with lumber and everything. Everything to build a house was brought over.
Because we have, of course, islands off the coast of Maine, or coast of both Maine and New Hampshire and Massachusetts for that matter, but most of them are fairly small, although there are some off of Portland, Maine, where people do live year-round, and the kids come in on boats to go to like the Portland High School and stuff. And I just wondered what it was comparable there. I'm not even sure they can have automobiles on some of the big Maine islands, for that matter.
I remember once walking through we were going to dinner, and we walked through the woods, some pretty dense woods with a trillium on the ground, and suddenly came out to this open field, and there was this lovely restaurant, and really an elegant restaurant, and it was a lot of fun. It wasn't much fun going back in the evening, when it was dark and we were full with dinner, but it was lovely.
Yeah, because you often wondered what would it be like living on an island, maybe a handful of people, or maybe you could buy your own island if it was small enough. I remember after World War II, the military had a lot of islands off the coast of the United States coast as protection and all that. I guess now it's kind of silly if a ship, an enemy boat or something comes that close, one of the islands that's not that far off the coast can't be much protection.
Right.
But at the time it was, like some of the islands off in Boston Harbor, which were used as forts and everything during earlier wars. Anyway, they were selling them And I thought, would that be kind of interesting to have your own island and live out there?
Oh, it'd be so lonely, though.
I guess it would be. At the time, it seemed very romantic. I suppose after...
Unless you could be received there, and then it might not be so lonely.
Well, no, but I mean, you just sitting around by yourself, or I suppose your immediate family, of course, if you had children, they'd probably curse you up and down.
Right.
Why didn't you bury me out here? There are no boys, there are no girls, nothing. Or something like that. It just, I suppose, just sounds kind of interesting. Maybe if you could just stay there, maybe for, a few days or a few weeks each summer or something. Maybe I don't know. It still sounds kind of interesting.
Well, you just got to go there. That's all there is to
Yeah.
it. And then you could report on it. I did want to ask you also, and I've been thinking about this every time you go back talking about music. And do you recall in Detroit we had 2 songs that were banned from the radio, which is kind of funny. I mean, you might think of it in Boston, banned in Boston. But would you recall the 2 songs that were banned in Boston?
There was a time, I mean, it depends on how far back you go. One was Paradise, I think. And then he held my hand, da-da-da-da-da. And
no,
he takes,
one was the Tony Martin song, When We're Dancing and You're Dangerously Near Me, I Get Ideas.
Was that banned in
Detroit?
No, that was never banned here. We played that a lot, as a matter of fact.
Wow. And then another one that was banned, because this is a little bit sad, but was a Hungarian song that, Gloomy Sunday.
Oh, that was a Billie Holiday song.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that was an old blues thing, Gloomy Sunday.
Yeah.
It was a very sad
Sunday,
song.
My hours are slumberless.
I think maybe the reason it was banned was because they felt it might induce somebody
to commit suicide.
Incite somebody to commit suicide. Right. But even then, you really don't ban things because of those reasons.
Those 2, the disc jockeys could not play them.
I wonder who could possibly have banned it? Was it a self-imposed ban by the stations themselves? It couldn't have been a city or a state ordinance or anything like that.
I'm wondering, because it would have to be, disc jockeys are pretty independent people.
Well, even then, if their management says you cannot play that and pulls that off the list,
right,
then they can't play that. But I just wondered who would put a ban like that and why they would do that. Gloomy Sunday is not the kind of a pop song that disc jockeys would want to play in the first place. Well, it's mostly a jazz-oriented blues
we
thing.
Would have, of course, my parents didn't allow me to listen to jazz music.
Really?
It was there's a term for it in German. I don't know whether you're familiar at all with German, but it's called Humblemann music, like clown music, and I wasn't even allowed to listen to Sinatra. It was I could only listen to classical music. But I remember I used to buy the those little music papers for 5 cents where they had the words. And my friends and I would sing.
So Song Hits. Song Hits magazine. That's right. Yeah, I remember those.
Yes.
Isn't that'd be interesting? I don't know. I wouldn't think the city of Detroit banned it. I don't think they could have gotten away with it.
Somebody would have had. It was all the talk. This would be about, I would say in the, let me see.
Would have been the 50s, I think, would it not, or 60s?
I think it was before that even.
Well, I get ideas. I don't think it goes back much further than the 50s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Gloomy Sunday would go back to the 40s, maybe.
Yes.
Maybe the 30s. That's possible.
Yeah. Well, people
because I do remember some songs that were not played on the air, or were kind of banned. I'm not quite sure who banned them. And one was that Paradise was one, and there were, I don't know whether Making Whoopee. No, I guess that was not. That was an Eddie Cantor song.
Yes,
he used to sing that all the time.
Yeah, that was.
But they was kind of suggestive, and we were kind of prudish back then. Well, maybe somebody will call and they'll know all the answers to all this stuff, Martha. We'll find out.
One last question.
Yes.
In the radio days, do you remember a program called Carlton Myers Kindergarten?
Yes, I do.
Do you? You're
Yes,
one of the
I
few
do.
people I know.
It was on Saturday morning, and way, way back, there's some remote part like that, where there might even be stores during the wintertime for them to shop in, or they have to go back to the mainland. Maybe there's somebody on the line who we'll get to who's from Michigan who'll probably fill in the gaps.
Well, there are other places in Michigan that aren't really that overcrowded either, because I've been writing to Ironwood and to Hancock and Houghton, and these communities are not all that large either. And there's big, vast expanse of forest in between, which sounds wonderful, because I'm trying to relocate. So I write to various states, and I don't know. This sounds very appealing, though.
Oh, you're thinking of leaving here, you mean?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And going to Michigan especially, or other parts of the country?
Well, I'm not sure. Either upper Minnesota to International Falls, maybe, or upper peninsula of Michigan. I need the colder weather. I can't tolerate the heat.
Oh, boy, if you're talking about colder weather, International Falls, Minnesota, which is way, way north, the temperatures must average about 7 million degrees below zero up there. That sounds awfully cold. You really want it that cold?
Well, I don't think it's quite that cold. I got their newspaper, and that, too, is a small community. But I really love snow and cold weather. I just can't take the heat anymore. So I'm not sure where I'm going to end up, but Michigan sounds like a very nice state. I wish some people would call in.
I have the next call we'll take will be from Michigan.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll see if we can get some answers for you then, Ann.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for
All
calling.
right.
Appreciate hearing from you.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Okay, now this is Jack, who's in... What part of Michigan are you at, Jack?
North suburbs of Detroit.
Okay, do you know about know the answers to some of the questions that just come up about Mackinac or anything?
Yeah, in fact, I was on the island early the first week of the month.
As a matter of fact, isn't that when they have that big kind of a people walking across this 5 Mile island? Not island, but the 5 Mile bridge?
Yeah, that's Labor Day.
Okay.
The bridge connects the lower peninsula to the upper peninsula.
Okay, and Mackinac Island is off of that, but is
Mackinac Island, that's probably be it's probably about 5 miles, I guess, 4 or 5 miles. They have two. You leave Mackinac City on a ferry, or you leave St. Ignace, which is across the bridge in the upper peninsula. And they have ferries that go from those 2 points over to the island. And basically the lady's right that they do, they allow absolutely no motorcraft other than bikes. And when people check into the Grand Motel, they get off the ferry, and a horse-drawn wagon picks up their luggage, and horse-drawn carriages are the taxis.
Okay, that sounds like fun. It sounds quite attractive.
And there are people that live there. I'm not sure on I might be wrong on the dimensions of the island, but I think it's like a 6 mile or a 9 mile bicycle ride around the perimeter of the island. And they have bikes that you can rent. They have a 9-hole golf course, and the stores are basically everything is in one end of the island. And but a lot of the store owners they commute from the from I guess we'd say the mainland,
right?
And then there are residents there, and one resident I talked to, she indicated that during the winter, they, like once a week, they go over to St. Ignace when everything freezes up by sled.
Okay, so they can reach the mainland from the island over ice.
And they usually pull a sled, and that's when they do their shopping. And of course, if it gets real serious in that, they can fly a plane according to this resident. But it's like a $28 round trip for, maybe a 5 or 6 mile trip. Then they charge him, I think she indicated, like 5 cents a pound, whatever you bring back, groceries, etc. So, but it's an ideal way to spend a day, or even in the Grand Hotel. And then they do have other hotels on the island, but they're more, to call them hotels, they're more like bread and breakfast, the bread breakfast type. But it's just a quaint island, and then an awful lot of college students and that work it during the summer.
It sounds interesting. I'd love very much to go up and take a look at it. Maybe I will do that one day.
Well, it would well be worth it. I spent 4 years up in Maine, so I kind of missed that area. But
where were you in Maine?
Up around Bangor.
Oh yeah, did you go to school up there?
Well, I was in the service there.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so had an opportunity to visit the coast and Bar Harbor and all the area.
Oh yeah, that's interesting because the woman who called before said she can't stand the hot weather. She's going to want to go someplace cold.
Well, I heard her, and I thought to myself, my gosh, why a woman would want to go to Ironwood, Michigan? I mean, last year they had just under 300 inches of snow up in that region.
I know. Actually, she's in Massachusetts now. She could go up to Maine. That's pretty cold up there in the wintertime, too, up where you were.
Yes, and I agree with you there. Now, and another thing about the shops, now all the shops will be closing up about the end of this month. And a lot of the motels start closing up, and so it's kind of like the season, like after Labor Day, their season really starts curtailing. And I think most of them that I talked to, and I can't say I talked to all of them, but I talked, a few of the merchants that you talk to while you're browsing and, asking about how business is and things like that. They say once Labor Day's over, it starts winding down. And, but it's a very intriguing and very nice island.
Well, I appreciate the information very much, Jack.
Well,
thank you very much. Unless there's another Billy in North Carolina. Maybe it's not Billy Clyde. I don't know. I never heard you act like that. Is this Billy Clyde?
That's part of my heritage. I have that right to give the rebel yell.
Okay.
Born and bred in North Carolina, and boy, did we take it on the chin today from FSU. We were supposed to break into the top 10 this week for college football, but it wasn't meant to be.
I'm sorry.
We fell short. But anyway, that's not the reason I'm calling.
Okay.
The Gloomy Sunday thing, first of all, I recall it done by June Christie and the Stan Kenton Band back in the late 40s on Capitol Records.
June Christie doesn't sound like one of her songs.
Well,
I'm not
arguing. She did a bang-up job on it, and I liked it, and I didn't get depressed. They always talk about people jumping out of buildings and everything when they hear that song. I thought it was beautiful. She did a real bang-up job on it. So I'm more familiar with that than I am. What's her name? What's her name that's dead now?
I mentioned Billie Holiday.
Yeah, and Billie Holiday.
Yeah, I'm just guessing that Billie. It just sounds like a Billie Holiday song. I don't remember whether she actually did that or not. I'd be surprised if she hadn't done it. But I am surprised that June Christie. I just don't remember that. I'll have to look it up.
Well, I
play
want
it
to
and hear it.
congratulate you on the award that you received once you put into port and docked in Boston after your trip, your boat trip down to the Bahamas. I heard from a real good source that you got a very prestigious award, and you were proclaimed on the spot when you docked as King of Macarena. that you had done a quick cram course on the boat on the way over there, and you got up to speed on your steps, and you were tripping the light fantastic and doing the Macarena, the likes of which no one has ever seen before. So the mayor came down to the dock, met you, the word got out, and they gave you an award, and they called you Macarena King of Macarena. Is that right?
Well, no, it's not right, and you know it's not right, Billy, but I love hearing you talk dirty like that.
And I was just wondering what the story was on the moose that our local TV station picked up on that was running amok in downtown Boston on the streets of Boston.
That's right, on the streets of Boston. I forgot what the outcome was. The moose is okay. Well, I think they tranquilized it and then brought it out to the woods. What's that?
I heard it died.
Oh, it may have died. I hope not. I hate to say an animal died, so I was kind of dodging it.
Loose.
The moose got loose. That's right. It was running around for a while here.
Did it start out in Watertown? Was that one and the same?
Yes, that was the moose, I believe, yes.
And it finally migrated to Boston, and it was running amok on the streets there, and they tranquilized it and put it on a truck. And then they had the wind-up installment on the Moose saga. All of us were following it intently from day to day, and it said that the moose, for some unknown, unexplained reason, died.
It did. I remember that
and
now.
It broke my heart.
It did. It was not killed. It just died for whatever cause might have been. Maybe it was just kind of traumatized by all that had happened.
So. And then about 2 weeks later in August, we see where is Beverly a seacoast town?
Yes, it's right on the ocean.
Off the coast of Beverly, someone landed a 2,000-pound, 17-foot-long great white shark.
That's true.
Is that true?
That is true. That is true. Yes, it came very close to the coast into an area where you don't really see hardly anybody ever sees a great white shark anyway.
I was going to ask you, is that a first for your area?
The first that I can remember, yeah. I mean, that's not a common thing here.
I didn't think they went that far north in the Atlantic. I thought they were mostly out there in warmer waters in the Pacific, off the coast of California and down in Australia and wherever. I didn't think they ventured up in your neck of the woods.
I guess they don't normally do that because that was a very unusual happening up here. I guess one of the fishermen out at that sea had spotted it, and they were kind of shocked because they kept looking, and it's the kind of thing that they don't normally see, and there it is, the great white shark.
I believe it said it was a couple of miles off the coast where they bagged it. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe that's true.
And I don't know whether they said it was the first one in 20 years or the first one ever in your area.
Maybe so far as I'm concerned, the first one ever. I don't remember that happening ever before.
Uh-huh. And another thing, I saw a great girl or gal orchestra 3 or 4 weeks ago. I think you had to work that night. I thought of you when I saw them on the 25th silver anniversary of the Kennedy Center. They had a 3-hour and 15-minute variety musical. Anyone that was artistic that got on that program if they were good. And they had this group called Diva. Are you familiar with them? D-I-V-A, an all-girl jazz band. And they just will knock your socks off. Those girls were playing a real state-of-the-art, cutting-edge, very demanding arrangement on Caravan, and it was an intricate passages in there, and they just cut it cold, and it just blew me away. I never heard anything like that in my life. They were fabulous.
Well, you've been paying more attention to things than I have.
And they said they've played Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, all up and down, up in the northeast area, and it's Diva. I'd read about them in Downbeat. They've been organized for about 5 years now, and they're for real. Those girls can really play. And the thing on there, when they ran that thing on local TV about them, a few days later, they said, here's one group, you better not go up to anybody and say, hey, man.
And spell their name again?
D-I-V-A.
B-I-V-A, Biva.
D is in dog.
Oh, diva. Like in an opera singer.
Absolutely.
No, I have never heard them. I feel badly. I'm letting you down, Billy. I have hardly heard any.
And another thing, do you know where Glick's living now in Florida?
I do not. I don't even know the answer to that.
Well, I know.
Where is he living?
He's living in, wait a minute, Boca Raton.
Oh, Boca Raton, the mouth of the rat's mouth.
He's got a condo down there.
Oh, really?
I'm serious.
No,
His wife sold a beauty parlor that she was running.
Yeah.
And they made good their getaway, packed up, and left Westwood for Boca Raton. How about that?
How about that? Yeah. I think he used to work in Florida at one point also, in broadcasting before he came back to Boston.
Uh-huh.
I don't know whether it's Boca Raton, but he did live in Florida and was broadcasting from down there at one point.
And I've heard you say twice now on 2 different programs, you lament the fact that people don't express their appreciation for preachers that are preaching a really good, inspiring message. You said they ought to be able to,
applaud
their feelings, and it's a shame because when you go to a concert and hear something you like, but they do that. They might not do it in the Catholic or in the Jewish or in the mainline traditional churches such as Methodist, Presbyterian, but the Spirit-filled, baptized, they believe in the baptism of the Holy Ghost. They believe that in healing, they take the Bible literally. They're charismatic. They're independent. They're non-denominational churches all over the South, and I'm sure through the Midwest and some even in the North. I'm not an authority on what's going on in the North church-wise, but I've been to them, and they don't sit on their hands. They're very responsive. They're very participatory. They're very demonstrative, and when they hear something they like, they let the preacher know it. And they even applaud. I went to a black church one time, and they even applauded the offering. They took up an offering, they applauded it. And I mean, that's just the way it is. So I didn't know if you knew that because I heard you say that.
No, I didn't. Well, let me mention why I said that. I went to a memorial service for a man named Bill Marlowe, who was a disc jockey here in Boston. It was at the funeral home on the day, obviously on the day he was to be buried, and a number of his cohorts, including me, we went up and talked about him and all that. And since it's in a funeral home, you finish your talk, and nobody applauds. They don't applaud at memorial services, that kind of thing, or in church in general. Except and I'm sure in some black churches I've heard that. But somehow there seems to be some unwritten code that says you don't applaud in church no matter what.
Well,
That doesn't make any.
They never applauded there the whole time I was there. You're right about that.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense not to applaud.
Yeah, well, they do that in the Pentecostal, in the Assembly of God, in the Church of God, and you have a gospel television station up there that has a church down there in Texas. I can't think of the guy's name, but they applaud him, and he gets standing rounds of applause when they get particularly stirred up with one part of his message, or John Hagee. They'll stand and applaud him. He's got a tremendous church, and they're not embarrassed. They don't sit on their hands. If they get it, they believe in the move of the Holy Spirit, and they don't believe in quenching the Spirit. If the Spirit moves on their heart and they feel led to say, "Preach it, preacher," or "Praise God forever," they'll holler out, and it's not distracting. And they believe in the move of the Holy Spirit. They believe in the baptism of the Holy Ghost. And they're just open to everything that the Scriptures have to say, Old Testament and New Testament.
Well,
and they're not shy and embarrassed, and they do praise the Lord aloud in those churches.
Well, that makes a lot of sense to me.
And I didn't know if you were aware of this or not.
No, I wasn't thinking of that line particularly. I guess I was not thinking of that because I hadn't been to one of those churches. But I do know, for example, in the old black churches way back, and obviously I think there's still existence in many of the churches now. The preacher would say something, the congregation would answer, and we'd call that call and response. And that worked its way into jazz, into, big band swing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, for example, you have in a big band, you have the maybe the trumpets playing, and then the response by the clarinets.
Absolutely.
Back and forth. In a sense, that's duplicating, or not duplicating, but simulating the old black churches where the minister would say, and how do you, he'd yell out something, and then the congregation would respond. And anyway, that's all kind of part of the same musical
Absolutely.
thing. Yeah.
I never thought of it like that before. I've just gone to school here tonight. And finally, I was just, let's see, I wish you would, there might be this real evident, and I'm missing something, but you've been in the industry, in this end of the, what happened to great music? I'm talking about great American pop standard radio stations that used to span the length and breadth of the dial. It was like a magical garden. It was just like a plethora of beautiful sounds and lush, plush orchestral arrangements, and Bobby Hackett playing with what's his name, the great one?
Jackie Gleason.
Jackie Gleason Presents series, and you had great Jack Jones, Peggy Lee, all ad infinitum, just on and on. Great singers. I mean, King Cole. I mean, the guy that had the stroke, Mel Torme, Frank Sinatra, and you had these stations on FM from end to end throughout the 70s and the 60s, and now they started dying off, and everything down here now is hard rock, or it's hip hop, or whatever they call it, or just bad poetry, rap stuff, or country, and you can't get any music that you can stay sane listening to anymore. I don't even dial in music anymore. They got one little station that I've heard you mention on your show, and I'll not mention it here, in New York on the end of the dial, and I'll listen to them a little bit, but they don't come in good. But what is the reason for this? Can you put your finger on why they all disappeared? Are you and I the only ones that have musical integrity anymore?
Well, I think the reason is, and the station you're talking about is WQEW in New York. And I listen to them quite a lot, too. They play some nice stuff.
Is that the only station in America that plays sane music anymore?
There may be some other ones, but I'm not sure of them. They have these stations that play, memory kind of music, the music, what do they call that? Music of your life. But they play a lot of junky stuff, too.
Well, what's the reason for it?
The reason...
You put your finger on it to where I can live with it and be resigned. What circumstances came to bear to wipe all these stations off the air?
Well, the reason is, well, number one, they were on the air when they felt that people liked that kind of music. There was more of an audience for it, and they felt that as new generations come along, younger people, they don't care about Mel Torme and Sinatra and all that. That's old hat to them, and they can't get enough of an audience. It's the way they feel, the management feels, and so they only program for audiences they think are there, and they think that audience is not there, and that's really the reason. If they thought there were enough people who wanted to listen to the stuff, you'd hear a lot of it.
I keep thinking it's coming back because there's people that listen to you that like the kind of music we're talking about.
Yeah, no.
Is it a demographics thing?
I think it's partly demographic. And I think it's to a very great extent demographic.
It's considered passe now. Is that it?
Yeah,
if you're over 60,
exactly.
You're just out of luck. You're finding anything that's palpable, huh?
Yeah, the only encouraging sign, I think, is the fact that at one time, the most desirable audience were probably in the age brackets of maybe 18 or 20 to about 39, and then maybe went up to 45. And now it's gone up higher. They realize that older people do have money to spend for products, and so they haven't. The upper group that they're going after now is probably up to the mid-50s, 50 or 55, which not too long ago they wouldn't have even cared about anybody over 45 or 50. So it's getting a little older as the population gets older, I suppose. But they still feel that the kind of music you're talking about does not appeal to anybody except older people and just a handful of them, and most of the younger people don't care about it, so they don't program
I
it.
think music is music, and if it's good, it seems like it would be irrespective of how old the listener was. It just seemed like it would transcend.
Well, I know that, but you know, radio...
And I'm tired of this endless parade of guitars spilling out over the stage, and they don't know but 4 chords, and they invent some wild, off-the-wall name to call themselves, and they're on the late night shows, and you see them one time, and they're awful, and you never hear of them again. And that's all that Letterman and the other guy, what's his name, from up your way, they just keep trotting these awful bands on every night, and I'm wondering, is there anybody in America that can play anymore? And if not, I'd like to be given an opportunity to hear them for a change.
I don't, well,
do you ever feel this way, or do you just not rattle anybody's cage and not say anything about it?
No. I rattle cages all the time. At my age, I don't have to worry about what I say anymore. I say what I think. No, I think a lot of that is just junk music. But if you look back, now think of this now, Billy.
Damn shame.
Well, look at it this way. You're talking, when you mentioned Mel Torme and Sinatra. No, hold on just a minute. Let me make my case.
All right.
And Peggy Lee and June Christie and Stan Kenton and all these people who made delightful music. But even during that period, there were very few stations that played them exclusively. They also included other pop things of the day, not much of which, but a fair amount of which was really junk also.
I did find the remainder of that conversation with Billy Clyde on another tape, along with more of the show, including playing a game with our very first game guest, Bob Hernandez. But that's going to have to wait for another time. The October surprise this year will be if I can manage to get 4 episodes out before November starts. Or maybe because it's already October and this was an episode from September, that's a surprise. I think the same thing happened last year. September is a crazy month. I'll try to remember that for next year. How will I handle it? We're all going to have to wait and see because, I have no idea. But what I do know is it's time to close the vault and leave this world a little sillier than we found it. For Stale Fruit and Canadian Customs, the Fairbanks House in Dedham, Mass., Norma Talmadge, the Hollywood Walk of Fame, the Bavarian Gaming Society, Hello Old Sport, the Bee's Knees, and 23 Skidoo. Partners in Crime, the Village of Newcomerstown, Ohio, Catch a Falling Star on Main Street in Winchester, the Learning Express in Newton and Cambridge, Mackinac Island, the Grand Hotel, Fudge, Tree Bridges, Song Hits Magazine, Carlton Myers Kindergarten, Great White Sharks, that were not common back then, but boy, have times changed, the Diva Jazz Band, WQEW, Jim Kosek, Bill Lawrence, Ed Donahue, Tom Howie, and the king of the Macarena, Norm Nathan. I'm Tony Nesbitt.